Biafra, where you dey? We dey wait for you to come our way. Simon Ekpa, you dey fight like lion, keeping Biafra safe from Zion. Oh mama Biafra, your children they cry. Finland free our prime minister. We no go lie, our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. Freedom no be small something. Now waiting we dey demand without fronting. Biafra land we want am strong. We Simon Ekpa, we go march along. From the east to the west we dey shout, Mama Biafra, yeah, I'll call no doubt. Enemies close, but we stand up tall. Together we rise, we no go follow. Oh Mama Biafra, your children they cry. Finland free our prime minister. We no go lie, our enemy they try to annihilate. Freedom now before it's too late. In unity we go dey strive, fight for freedom we go alive. With courage and strength we dey fight. Mama Biafra, our guiding light. Your children they cry. Finland free our prime minister. We no go lie, our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. Freedom no be small something. Now waiting we dey demand without fronting. Biafra land we want them strong. Simon Ekpa, we go march along. From the east to the west we dey shout, Mama Biafra, yeah, I call no doubt. Enemies close but we stand tall. Together we rise, we no go fall.
Breaking news reaching us now, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has been arrested, extradited to Nigeria, and is right now being arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the Federal High Court.
It was an unjust war.
Long ago, in the heart of Biafra, a nation was born from the ashes of war. A war that scarred the land and its people, yet it never killed the spirit of freedom.
The war aim of Biafra is purely to prevent ourselves being slaughtered, nothing more.
It was in this land, scarred by conflict, that Nnamdi Kanu was born, a son destined to revive the dream of independence for Biafra.
And if anybody is going to judge our success and failure in this war, it will have to depend on how much we have prevented the enemy from killing us.
Raised with the echoes of his ancestors' struggles, Kanu understood that the wounds of war ran deep in the hearts of his people. The scars from the Biafran War, which ravaged the land and cost countless lives, had never healed. The dream of an independent Biafra, broken but not forgotten, lived on in the hearts of those who survived. It was these voices, these memories, that called him to action. As Nnamdi Kanu grew, so did his voice. He became a preacher of justice, a messenger for those who were unheard. He spoke not just for his generation, but for all those whose lives were shattered by the war. The pain of the past was alive within him, and his words resonated with the cries of the oppressed. But as Kanu's message spread, so did the fear of the establishment. His calls for self-determination grew louder, shaking the very foundations of the government. They feared the revival of a Biafran spirit, one that could awaken the wounds of the past and ignite a new conflict. And so, they moved against him. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, his body captured, but his spirit unbroken. The authorities believed that imprisoning him would extinguish the fire he had started. But they failed to understand the depths of his cause. The pain of the war, the bloodshed of the past, was not something easily forgotten. It was a flame that could never be fully extinguished. His arrest became a symbol of the struggle that began in the blood-soaked fields of the Biafran War. The demand for freedom was still alive. The fight for justice continued, not just for Nnamdi Kanu, but for all the lives lost, for all the children born into a world of scars. The fight for Biafra is not just his fight. It is the fight of all those who have ever dreamed of a free land. And though the past may haunt the present, the future is still unwritten. As long as the story of Nnamdi Kanu is told, as long as the voices of his people rise, the dream of Biafra lives on. Arrested again, 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 and yet again.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra, my right to agitate, my right. turned it from treasonable felony now to terrorism.
This is Nnamdi Kanu speaking. Biafra land, listen. They thought they could silence me, but they didn't just cage me. They caged your spirit. They made you forget that our land still bleeds, that our people still suffer, that nothing has changed. 5 years in chains. But what about you? Are you not free? Or have they bound your voice with fear? The struggle was never about me, it was about you, your children, your land, your future. So I ask you, where is the fire that once burned in your heart? Where is the voice that once roared for freedom? Wake up! Rise again. Speak. Act. Remember who you are. This is Nnamdi Kanu.
No fear for our land. We could stand together, fight for freedom now. No surrender.
This day is more than just an opening. It is a call for peace and reconciliation. Join us at the first ever Biafra Peace Summit, where the past and present voices for Biafra independence come together. No segregation, no division, just one people with one purpose. An occasion to voice our differences, resolve them, and stand stronger as one people. May 30th is also our separate Biafra Heroes Remembrance Day, when we honor the brave souls of men and women who fought and children who fell from the genocidal war of 1967 to 1970, where over 3 million Biafrans lost their lives. The day we honor those unjustly imprisoned and killed before the war, during the war, and presently, simply for being Biafrans. We salute our past and present leaders, from the vision of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu to the resilience of Philip Effiong, the fearless dedication of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the unwavering courage of Simon Ekpa Odogu, who have carried the torch of our struggle. Their sacrifices and leadership lights our paths forward. As we all know, for far too long, we've endured suffering at the hands of our enemies and division from within. This summit is power-packed to heal those wounds, to uproot seeds of discord planted among us, and to unite Biafrans across tribes, regions, religions, and political views. Together, we are unstoppable. Be part of history. Join us on May 30th, 2025 at the United States of Biafra headquarters in Washington, D.C. A day of unity, remembrance, and renewal. Biafra rises as one strong nation, bolder together. Venue, 11726 Connecticut Avenue, Northwest Washington, D.C. Time, 3 p.m. Biafra time and 10 a.m. Washington time. 30th of May 2025, a united Biafra. Our time is now. This message is proudly sponsored by the Office of the United States of Biafra Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency Dr. Ngozi Orabweze, and the Biafra Information, Telecommunication and Postal Service. My name is Marvelous Chukwubikem Arinze.
Face many things, we no fall. Them took a Nnamdi Kanu, but we stand tall. Simon Ekpa, them country still they strong. We go rise higher, no place for wrong. We no go fall, we go stand. In unity, we hold the land. From night.
Survived.
Welcome.
It was these.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. This is a morning review of what we are doing. Today we are going to make a Sunday review of the restoration of Biafra, the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the attack against our leaders. We are going to make a review of a program that was held the very day Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went to court. So many things happened that we are not shown. We are going to bring the review for you. Please pay attention to this program from the beginning to the end. As you join, invite somebody, share to all platforms. Remember, Mazen Nandekano is going to be coming to court again this week. So we have to continue to do the review for you to know where we stopped, where we are, and what has transpired. We will never be silent. We will continue to follow up this case because we know that Mazen Nandekan is innocent. And our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa, is equally innocent. These people are being persecuted for nothing, simply because they are asking for self-determination of their people. But we will not be silent. No matter what they do, no matter the attack they bring, we will continue to speak until we win our case. Let us listen on the review that was made on the case of Mazen Nandekan.
That's all that is happening. We know it's not easy. I cannot tell you that Mazen Nandekan is having a good time there. He's not having any good time. It's not easy for one to be in. If you have not been in detention once, you wouldn't know what it is. But if you have been in detention, even for a day, you will understand. Anison, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Anison, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. We cannot hear you. Unmute yourself, Anison.
Good morning, brothers.
Good morning. You're welcome.
May I use the opportunity to say good morning to Biafrans all over the world. But am I coming right now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. It has not been an easy journey. I will continue to tread upon this path until what belongs to us is finally given to us. The one thing I want to, in fact, I am not yet convinced indeed. It was like last time, I was like, it's me, I am thinking as if there is any secret agreement that the federal government has entered with the Council of Mazen Namdekano, which I am not convincingly saying it is so, but I can't even understand. Really, everybody, even a child that is born today, you quite right that Nnamdi Kanu should not stand any trial in Nigeria, but he has not committed any offense. The illegality of kidnapping from Kenya should be argued. I think I suppose that the councils, Nnamdi Kanu should argue that before even allowing all this masquerade of a thing that is going on as a kind of a trial, and the injustice they want to bring in, because all this is a kind of a sharia. The Nigerian government is purporting in order to see if they can have anything to convict Mazen Namdekano. It's surprising me that we have about 4 sons now, and what I suppose that they should be arguing is not coming into contest. It is as if Aloy Ejimako is doing well handling this case proper and making it difficult for Nigerian government before now. But I will not conclude, because I don't know what is the secret behind or the discussion behind. But I know that the shame that Nigerian government has brought to themselves in respect of Nnamdi Kanu's issue and the restoration and Biafran freedom is so enormous. So anything can happen, because Nigeria is a corrupt entity, corrupt as a cesspool indeed, and even corrupt more than a cesspool. We are doing all these things because majority of this Western Europe are benefiting from the corrupt practices going on in Nigeria, and they are not ready to let it go, since this is the means of their survival. But it shocks me again and giving me a kind of a concern that with the great people we have as Igbos and Biafrans all over the whole world, does it mean that we cannot see the shame that whatever they are doing to Mazen Namdekano is being directed to every born Biafrans all over the whole world? The detain that they've detained Nnamdi Kanu for the past 4 years now, and all the shenanigans that they've been carrying along all these 10 years against him, is it that all these Biafrans, the notable, the dignitaries we have, are not seeing it as a kind of an injustice meted against all of us? That in the face of all this nonsense, those who are supposed to speak up have kept quiet. Or is it that they felt that after everything, only Nnamdi Kanu will suffer it, and if they manage to suppress Biafra, which God forbid, I know they will never overcome us, because I knew quite well that this is a divine mandate. It is a divine mandate, and that is why, no matter how they do it, no matter the angle they are coming from, no matter the money they are spending to bribe everybody that they are bribing in the whole world to see if they can turn things other way around, it's not going to work for them. We are the children of light. And I know that surely the power of God is going to lead us to the heights of why he has decided this mission. If it's alone that, if not that it's a divine mandate, let me tell us one thing. Nnamdi Kanu doesn't have what it takes to come out and even stand to challenge a demonic enclave fighting for the freedom of his people. Simon Ekpa doesn't have that power to come and stand against a demonic enclave instituted by Britain and managed by Britain till this very date to fight for this cause. But I knew it, and it's giving me joy, because I know that no matter what, they will dearly pay for all this evil they are committing against the Biafrans. I have said it, and I will keep saying it, so that anybody that have ear will listen. If they think it will not come to pass, they are just making a shame and a mess of themselves. This is exactly how it was. I said it, and I am repeating it again. In the land of Egypt, when the Egyptians were making mess of the children of God, using the children of Israel for an object of caricature, using them for their slavery and all kind of insult and inhuman treatment, as if it will not come to an end. Until when God himself decided that this mission will come to an end, and he's going to use Egypt to prove his majesty before the face of the whole world. Even when God called Moses to go onto that mission, Moses knew that he's going to face the beast of that time. And he made it clear to God that I cannot go. Not only that, Egypt at that time is the demonic seat of the whole world, controlling the affairs of the whole world. But also, the people that God was sending him to go and rescue them are not people who are willing to listen, and they don't even care to come out from that slavery, because they felt they don't have option any longer. But for God to prove his majesty, he compelled him to go onto that mission. From Moses, he attached Aaron to be his mouthpiece, and after that, Joshua came and he attached Caleb to be his helper. And this is how that journey went until the people of Israel were liberated from the hand of Egyptians. But while they were living in Egypt, after every signs and wonders that God has shown to the Egyptian government at that time, for them to know that this is not human making, but rather God is fighting for Israel, and God wants his people to go. The government of Egypt, led by Pharaoh, was defiant, and they would not listen. But when they saw the great one, and when everything was turning to upside down in Egypt, they decided to let them leave Egypt. After leaving Egypt, it was to them as if it was a mistake. How should we allow these people to go? So then they said that henceforth we will not have Israel to serve us as a slave again. We will not make a caricature of them again. For them to go and face the consequences of what they've been doing to Israel, God knocked their brain and they blindfolded them. And they decided to go after Israel. Everybody knows how it ended up at the Red Sea. It is just a similar event that is playing out. But because of the level at which the world has grown in evil dealings and evil conspiracies against the children of light. But it is basic, it is very clear, it is obvious that These wicked rulers of the whole world is afraid of the light that is about to shine before the face of the world. They are in the state of, they are the one in darkness, and they are eating and drinking and surviving in darkness. So they are believing that anytime this light will shine, it's going to affect them, and they have been supporting every evil going in Nigeria against the Biafrans. If not for this very reason, the whole world knew quite right that Nigeria has committed a very high level of atrocities that have never been done anywhere in the whole world. For going to Kenya to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu and illegally extraordinary rendition him back to this demonic enclave that they call Nigeria. Why have they kept quiet? Why have they kept quiet? That is because it is a global conspiracy to make sure that they are going to suppress Biafra and not allow Biafra to make a headway. But if they think they can stand against Biafra, they should also think in another way. Can they stand against the divine mandate that God himself has instituted? And I want to use the opportunity also to say sorry to many of the Biafrans that are hanging on the fence and thinking that at the end of it all, Biafra will not come. And instead of supporting and doing everything, putting all they have to ensure our freedom, they are there eating cucumber and enjoying their lives. While they are in slavery, you have been enrolled, you have been lined up for slaughter, and you do not see it because you are blind. You cannot see beyond your standing points. Who is a reasonable Biafra, a responsible Biafra that will be happy with the state we have found ourselves in a dirty enclave as such? I used to say it and I will keep repeating it. I'm not far from the scene. I am in this dirty mess. I am in this dirty demonic enclave they call Nigeria. I'm not far. I'm not in the Western country. I don't even have the privilege. I don't have what it takes to go out. If I have, I would have lived for a long time, because if you are with us here now, if you are with anybody, if you are with us in this dirty enclave, this demonic enclave called Nigeria, frankly speaking, you will know really that you are already in the hell. Living in Nigeria is like somebody already in the hell that they are talking about. If there's any other hell, there will be more than this one. In fact, that would be a kind of until then. But for now, if there's any hell I know about that the Bible and the Word of God is talking about, Nigeria state is the hell that we're in it. Nothing is working. Nothing is going on. Injustice everywhere. Look at the level of killings. They are promoting their terrorism, and they are charging an innocent man and trying him of terrorism act. After the atrocity, the abominable act they've committed to bring him down from Kenya against his own will, after all kind of inhuman maltreatment, blindfolded him and brought him back to a demonic entity, and the whole world knows about that. The world, look at what happened as soon as that incident took place. As soon as the incident took place, Boris, who was then the Prime Minister of England, to celebrate the evil agenda they've arranged and they're thinking that they've succeeded, they went to, while the Biafrans were clamoring that the whole world and Britain should look to what Nigeria has done to their citizens, to make us understand that every evil going on in Nigeria, British is solidly behind it and telling them to go ahead doing it, that their allies in the Western world, in the European world, and in Northern Europe can never do anything in as much as England is involved. They traveled to Finland, to Kenya, to have a Photoshop to snap and to consolidate that evil deed, to establish a kind of another diplomatic relationship between Kenya and Nigeria, for having helped them to do that evil job, because they knew quite well that this thing will never happen in England or in any part of the United Kingdom. So they use the hopeless people in Africa who doesn't want their freedom, who believe that living a slavery life and living a slavery life in perpetuity is of any good to them. Look at how Britain and France and some of them from the Western world has rendered the African continent incapacitated, especially the West African and the Eastern African, because they could not make entry into the Northern Africa, where the Arab world has decided to take over Arab, and did not allow them to have entry. Only that they have a partial entry. It's not a very big shame to the whole world. It's not a big shame to the United Nations, the so-called United Nations, the so-called organizations that they claimed was initiated for the sake of humanitarians and humanity, and to make sure that there's any form of injustice all over the whole world is being stopped. Where are they? Where are they? Tell me what any statement that will come from United Nations today that will make us to believe that these people are humans. Tell me that statement that will come from EU that will make us to believe that these people are human. Tell me that statement that will come from ICC that will make us to believe that they are human. It is obvious that these people are corrupt. They are corrupt. Corrupted than anything you can think of. If there's any other word to be used more than corruption, this is what these people are. And their conscience is dead. They've sold their conscience because of material things that they are taking from Nigeria and all over African continent. But it's a very big shame. The biggest shame of our time, the biggest shame of the 21st century, that such inhumanity is going on, and the whole world saw it, and they turned a blind eye. This issue of Biafra is before the United Nations, and they are aware. They knew, the whole world knew when Nigeria kidnapped. What you know is against international standard. You are allowed a useless entity because Britain is involved. Because Britain is involved. You are allowed it to continue flourishing. And today, look at the shenanigans going on in their useless cause. The same useless man of injustice. James Omotosho is a man of injustice. He's never a man to judge any case in this country. He does not deserve to be a judge. This is the man that brought Ofudodema from fourth position to attain the height of the governor to become the governor of Imo State. This is the man that the Nigerian seeking entity, demonic entity, has been using to sequestrate and suppress and marginalize and subjugate people into a wrong direction and putting them into a state of mess. Look at what is going on in the Imo State. Look at how poor Ofudodema has been working tirelessly to accomplish the tax he has collected from Nigerians to make sure that every Biafran is being slaughtered. That Biafra, the land of Biafra is taken completely by the Fulani jihadist Nigerian government in collaboration with UK. UK have seen us as a problem, as a thorn on their flesh, for not committing any offense, for fighting for what belongs to us. For fighting for what belongs to us. We say we need our freedom. If really what is going on in the whole world is not a global conspiracy and an evil targeted against an ethnic group, what is it not a kind of a relief when a child grow up and started to live or have a separate way from the parents? It's not a relief if we want to be free and go and manage ourselves. But I should tell you there's a lot of evil agenda that is going on. And they have been surviving, the Western world have been surviving through this. And it is not even far-fetched. Look at the example of it going on in France, in Burkina Faso. Now, France and the allies around the world is fighting tirelessly to make sure that they remove Ibrahim Traoré from the seat of Burkina Faso's government. A young politician telling us military nonsense. Are we talking of military government? Military government that is better than demonic democratic government. But them, because they've already formed an agenda and have set it as a kind of how do I put a script that they are playing that with this we will continue to hold them in ransom. They tell you that the government. Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré is in love. The whole Burkinas are in love with this young man. And anybody that knows what is going on in Africa will tell you that this young man is a light that is shining not only in Burkina Faso, a light that is shining forth for the Africans. It will also, the Britain and the France are collaborating with him also to see if they can trap this young man, this drug baron, drug lord, to let you know how shameless this world is. If not that this world is a shameless home, and people conscious, those who claim they are there to stand for humanity, have sold their conscience and living in evil because they are eating in evil. will Tinubu be allowed? Is it supposed that Tinubu should even travel to Chatham House, where they used to go and promise them on how they are going to manage their company in Nigeria? Somebody who has a very tragic, a terrible and sticky record. The whole world is fully aware of it. Britain is aware of it. But that should tell you that the world is.
Are you there, Anderson? I can't hear you anymore. Anderson, I can't hear you anymore. I think he's having a network problem.
No, the part going on in this world. Pardon?
Hello, can you hear me, Anderson?
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay.
So, really, what I want to say in a nutshell is this. Please, the legal terms, all these things that are doing should not come first, but rather, they should start to argue the illegal extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. It's an evil against humanity all over the whole world. United Nations Charter, even in their own constitution, and even in their own court, they have told them that this is what you put it. What are we sister? What trial is Nnamdi Kanu standing for? And what is all this much evidence? Where has it occurred in the whole world that somebody wants to present evidence before an enemy? You are really sure that what you are saying is true, and you are requesting that you should be masked. Please again, don't say that the person that's standing witness against Nnamdi Kanu is a DSS member. He was there when they arrested him. It is not true. You cannot tell any. How can you notice who is somebody that is masked? How will you confirm that he's a DSS member? These people brought those that they feel that they want to use to manipulate everything and see if they can convince Nnamdi Kanu. But everything they are doing, we are watching them, and they should not even think that Biafra will go back. We have come out for this fight, and we are ready to give it everything. We'll fight until last man standing. And let me tell them one thing, they should go with it. Whether they like it or not, Biafra has come to stay, and nobody will take it away. The end of it, like I used to say, will marvel the whole world. But I am urging all Biafrans, do not see this thing as something that is separate, maybe something given for some group of people to do, and they don't care, maybe because they are in Western world. Anywhere you are in the whole world, there is no place like home. You are like a slave, and any day the Western people want. Look at what is happening with our leader, PM Mazam Samanakwa. Who will ever believe on this surface earth that Finland will betray the bond of trust that has existed between them and Mazam Samanakwa? And I thought this should be a lesson to all those who are staying in the Western world and claiming or seeing themselves as if they are saved. Hence, they are not in this corrupt entity where we are suffering and living like a dead body. Let me tell you, nobody is still screaming in Nigeria. There is the level of insecurity. The one you are seeing, the reportage you are seeing on the screen about the killings in all these places is not up to a quarter of the killings that are going on in Nigeria. And the federal government is the terrorist government. They are the one that is sponsoring the terrorists. Everybody knows, the whole world knows. Why are they not saying anything? Time shall tell. But I have said it, the whole world will marvel when God will fully manifest, will put into manifestation what he has started. But they should take it at the back of their mind that this is a divine project and nobody will stop it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you for that wonderful comment that you have just made. I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for your contributions. Always, and Biafrans are listening. Everyone that is watching us, wherever you are watching from, I want you to tighten up your seatbelt and continue to move forward and do not get distracted. A lot of things are going to be happening. It doesn't matter the news that comes from the courts today. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. That is none of our business. Because we know from the onset that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is innocent of all the charges. And there is always a fact that the Nigerian government has no right to try Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the first place. So whatever they are doing in their court today, do not be troubled. Do not trouble your mind or your heart or begin to think what is going to be the outcome or whatever be the outcome. There is one very important thing that you must know. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. And the court of Nigeria has no jurisdiction to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu based on their own law. Their law says that anyone that tries Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. Because number one, they kidnapped him from Kenya. After they kidnapped him, they extraordinarily renditioned him to Nigeria. Extraordinary rendition itself is a crime. Kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a grievous crime. And there's no way you can stand on those illegality and you will be talking about legality. They must have to go, first of all, and correct their illegality. It's only after correcting that illegality that we can now begin to consider whether they have the jurisdiction to try him or not. But from every indication, it is clear that they have no jurisdiction to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All the drama you have seen today will just continue. So, as we are watching, continue to pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for strength. The strength to stand strong for all of us until the end of the whole drama. I call it a drama because the man they are holding is innocent. Very, very innocent. There is no charges against him. All the charges they brought against him are all fabrications. If Nigeria were to be a sane country, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not be in their court. This is an innocent man who has not done anything wrong. The only wrong thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did is that he was born in a part of the country where he was born. That is the only crime he has committed. That he was born in the part of the world where he was born. Apart from that, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime. But you see how they are forcing themselves, pushing lies and propaganda against him, dragging him in and outside of the court, even when they know that this man is innocent. All the charges they are bringing, allegations they are bringing, are all false. Even as we speak today, they are still bringing allegations. I'm asking him. Today, they are still bringing them. Let me go around and get the update so that we can be able to look into those updates for you to understand what we are talking about. That the criminal entity called Nigeria are very, very unrepentant. When we call them a terrorist country, some of you do not understand. For those who are not Biafrans, they will not understand why we call Nigeria government a terrorist government. We are not saying it out of hatred. We are not saying it because we hate them. We are saying it because it is the truth. It is the truth. The illegality in Nigeria is smelly. It is only Nigerian government that is shameless, that can stand in the midst of their corruption and continue to be proud. In corruption, only Nigerian government. Only Nigerian government. There is no other government in the world that will begin to be proud in criminality. Only Nigerian government. And it's sad. A very, very sad situation. But what are we going to do? The only thing we have to do is to continue to pursue the restoration of Biafra and see that we walk out of that zoo. If we don't, it is going to be very, very bad. It's going to be very bad. So the update we are getting from the court now, the case have already proceeded. The court commenced with the prosecution counsel Awomolowo introducing his team of lawyers. The defense team, led by Kanu Agabi, introduced his team of lawyers. Kanu Agabi, we are ready for cross-examination. That is what our lead counsel said. Witness BBB has been called into the dock. So now they are going to cross-examine the witness BBB. You know, they don't give their name, they only give the BBB. So the witness BBB have been called in. The prosecution requested permission to ask one more question to their witness, which was granted. Witness BBB stated and tendered a medical report indicating the cause of death of Ahmed Gulag. You see, they are bent on dragging the issue of Ahmed Gulag to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Ahmed Gulag, we are talking about, I have played a video, I am still going to play a video where Ahmed Gulag mentioned the name of the person that killed him. And in a video where Hope Uzodinma said that the death of Ahmed Gulag is politically motivated. It's a politically motivated death. It has nothing to do with IPOB. But today, that witness is also bringing, today the witness brought the medical report indicating the cause of death of Ahmed Gulag. Why is he bent on going towards that direction? To drag Mazen Nnamdi Kanu into something that has nothing to do with him. And they tendered it while they were there. And this is why we are saying, just like the video that Wazirike made, why would our lead counsel, the SARS there, be watching these people tendering all these unnecessary items in the court, and they are admitting them in the court? Why are they allowing that? Let's continue to watch and see what is going to happen. Then, transcript of cross-examination proceedings. Witness BB Agabi begin to question him. You obtained a video statement from defendant. Witness said, yes, my lord. Agabi, in that statement, only defendant and his lawyer were witness. We are visible. The witness said yes. Agabi, the video was not complete. Are we able to see those who conducted the interview? Were you wearing mask? The witness, I cannot remember, my lord. Agabi, for how long was the defendant in detention before you made the video? Witness, I don't know. I'm not aware of his long detention, my lord. Defendant has been kept alone in cell, all by himself. And the question continued. Transcription of cross-examination proceedings. Witness BBB Agabi. But you must understand that solitary confinement is punishment. If that's what you mean, it's a punishment. Did you kept him in solitary confinement because he is in danger to himself or the society? Agabi was asking the witness. But you must understand that solitary confinement is punishment. If that's what you mean, it's a punishment. Did you kept him in solitary confinement because he is a danger to himself or the society? Witness, I'm not aware he was in solitary confinement. Agabi, you subjected Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to solitary confinement. I'm not aware. And how long the defendant has been in detention? Agabi, do you know the minimum days to keep someone in solitary confinement? Witness, from United Nations law, you can't keep someone for more than 15 days. Transcript of cross-examination. Witness BBB Agabi, the long detention of this gentleman has caused him unhappiness. Witness, I am not aware. Agabi, are you aware this gentleman has been in detention for 4 years after the interview? the defendant has become very unhappy and frustrated. Witness, I'm not aware. Agabi, this proceeding detention is not through a court order. This prolonged detention is not through a court order. Witness, I don't know, my lord. Agabi, defendant was arrested in 2015. Witness, I am not aware. My lord, I was not part of investigation, my lord. They continue. Agabi, do you know some of the charges were dropped? Agabi was asking the witness, do you know some of the charges were dropped? Witness, I don't know. I don't know about the previous charges, my lord. Agabi, following the amendments, several charges have been dropped. Witness, I do not know, my lord. Agabi, all the charges, only 3 were attributed to the defendant. I don't know, the witness said again. Agabi, do you know that the charges were amended 6 days after his arrest through kidnapping? Witness, I'm not aware, my lord. And the proceeding continues. Agabi continued to cross-examine the witness. In fact, of time, the charges have been pending in court for 6 years. Witness, I'm not aware, my lord. Agabi, it's from this letter you become aware of this case. Witness, I'm not aware, my lord. Everything he's not aware. Agabi, before you received the directive from your office, were you aware of this matter? Witness, I don't know, my lord. You will never learn anything. Agabi, in the letter, the AGF complained about the complaints he had received. What was the response of your office? Witness, I don't know, my lord. The only investigation you conducted was the video interview. Witness, it was not so, my lord. Agabi, I put it to you, you did not conduct any other interview. Witness, I did, but the docs are in my office. The documents are in my office. Okay. Everyone in court just laughed out. Stay tuned. That is how far they have gone now. Cross-examination is still ongoing. And as the cross-examination continues, I will continue to bring updates. So, my fellow Biafra, you can see, when you look at the cross-examination, the questions that are being asked here, you see that that man that called himself whatever he called himself, the witness, has nothing to say. The witness, most of the things he's been asked, he said he doesn't know. You can imagine that he doesn't even know the charges of Mazen Nandekan. He doesn't even know if there were investigation done. He doesn't even, there's nothing he knows at all. He doesn't know that some charges were dropped. He doesn't know that the charges were written some days before the arena of Mazen that can be caught. The witness said he doesn't know. And remember, this witness is a member of DSS. They don't want to give us a name. They don't give us a picture. They give us somebody with a mask. So we will continue to bring updates. But I want to tell you, my beloved brothers and sisters that is watching, I have said it time and time again. It does not matter what the outcome of the court is today. The only thing I want you to have at the back of your mind is that Mazen Nandekan is innocent of all charges. Mazen Nandekan is very, very innocent of all the charges. And it does not matter what they do. It does not matter what they say. At the end of the day, victory is going to be ours. But as we know, they might have some other games that they want to play. They might have some other things that they want to do. But whatever be their plans that they have, which we are suspecting already, many people are already concerned and talking about convicting Mazen Nandekan and then expect us to begin to beg for pardon or clemency. That will not be acceptable. That will not be acceptable. Because from all look of things, since they have refused to withdraw this case, the easiest thing they would have done is to give an order to the Attorney General to withdraw this very case. Just the same way they withdrew the case of Showore. The federal government of Nigeria withdrew case from Showore. They have no case with it. They are not interested anymore. They did the same thing to Sonibo. The federal government withdrew their hand and said they are not interested anymore. And the case ends. The same thing they do to some people in the north. They withdraw their case. That is what they're supposed to do. They are not supposed to subject Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to any trial. They are not supposed to subject Mazen Nnamdi to any trial for the fact that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu himself is innocent. Is innocent. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is very, very innocent of the case. They have put the case to trial. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have won most of the cases in the court where he went. Remember, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have gone to the Supreme Court and they returned him back to High Court to start from afresh. And this case have been tested. They've tested it and said that they have nowhere, they can't win the case. They cannot win the case. But as you know, it's a case against the government. And the government can manipulate as much as they want. They can manipulate anything. They can cage you. They manipulate it to convict you and then expect you to act. They say they grant you pardon. And you know the pardon comes to condition. And once you are a convicted person, and they say they grant you pardon, that conviction already is there. It's no longer easy. And remember, what they are charging Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is treasonable felony. You see, after watching that video I played yesterday from Owazirike, even before then, I was thinking about this very issue. And this is why Ejimako have refused to go into trial for this case. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have refused to allow them to try his case. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have refused because the judgment have been gotten already that have been passed said that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is innocent, that they don't have the right to try him. You cannot stand on illegality and you're talking about legality. You must first of all correct that illegality that you have before you can be qualified to speak about legality. There's no way you can be illegal and you are talking about legality. It doesn't happen. Nigerian government committed illegality to the highest level. They kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, tortured him for good 8 days, extraordinary rendition him, abused all his marriage rights, and placed him on solitary confinement now for 4 years going. Crimes committed against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is grievous. And they had no right to try him. The best thing they should have done. And when people are talking about political solution, the only political solution they should offer is to withdraw the case. That is the only political solution they will give. The president to give order to the Attorney General to withdraw the case, that they're not interested anymore. Anything short of that is a scam and will not be interested in it. My brother Greg, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. You're welcome.
Hello, Mr.
No.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome, my brother.
Good afternoon to all the Biafrans, the listeners, and the people on the comment section. My greetings this afternoon. We thank God again today for our life and the life of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is on the court today. We thank God for his life and keeping him and giving him the strength to come to the court today. We thank God for Mazen Simon Ekpan, that God will continue his good work in their life, and the God who give them the grace to start this Biafra struggle, this freedom fighting for the freedom of their people, will not abandon them. God who give them the grace to start it will make them to bring it to the end, no matter what the enemy do. Victory is ours.
See?
Yes, my brother. I just entered and I started listening from where we are giving the update. And a man that's called himself a witness from the DSS or whatever, every question they ask him, he say he don't know, no idea. So you arrested Sam Nnamdi Kanu and you question them Nnamdi Kanu, and you don't know if Nnamdi Kanu is confinement detention or whatever. You don't know. You don't know how many years he has been there. You don't know how many days he's supposed to be in that place. You don't know if his right has been abused. Everything as a agent of the DSS and Nigerian government, you don't know anything. Then why did they employ you? And which work are you doing for them? And why did they brought you to the to testify? If everything you don't know. So that shows the world the kind of judgment and the kind of law that Nigerians are practicing. You interviewed somebody. When you catch a criminal and you interviewed him, you that interviewed him knows the law. You that interviewed him will say, yes, this person I have interviewed, I found so thing against him. He must be detained. And this is the what he's supposed to face. Because when you interviewed him, you are almost a lawyer for that government and a lawyer for that very agent. So you know the law. But this is everything you have telling people, telling the whole world in that court is you don't know, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know. Every question that we are put to you is, your answer is you don't know. So my brother, I don't know why Nigeria is always making fun of themselves. And this is why my anger goes so deep to Finland. I hope Finland will be watching this kind of a cross-examination they're doing against the council for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The question is asking the people that came there as a witness. You came as a witness, and every question they put to you, you said you don't know. So I don't know what he's supposed to know. So that is to show you the kind of country that is Nigeria is operating, and the kind of law. So it is obvious that they already know everybody is aware now that they only just come and fulfill all righteousness that they brought Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to court. That is only what I can see in this very court. No other thing. It's only just to say the word. We take him to court too. So, but we wait and listen and see what will happen at the end. That is my submission for now. Thank you, my brother. But I'm still at work.
Thank you so much, my brother. It is so sad. It's very funny. Somebody who said he was investigating the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu as a witness, you are with this DSS, all of a sudden, you don't even know the charges that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is being charged for. You don't know. He was asked, he doesn't know. After you received the AGF directive, the charges were again amended. He said he doesn't know. I'm not an investigator. He doesn't know. I'm not aware of the content of the charges. You are not aware. What else are you aware? And what are you testifying? What you are testifying to come and tell the world that it is Gulag. It is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that took the life of Gulag. So that's the only reason you are there. And let me play the video of Gulag. The Gulag, they are accusing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and say that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was the person that took the life of Gulag. I want you to see the video where Gulag mentioned the person that took his life. This is the man they are accusing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu of taking his life in court.
I want to say what I have been saying over time. Mr. President, remove, arrest, prosecute Major General Ali Munguno, your national security advisor.
Major General Ali Munguno, the national security advisor to Buhari, the late Buhari, his national security advisor was the person that killed this man. This is the man they are telling Mazin Nandekano, is Mazin Nandekano, that took his life. This is the man they brought his, today they brought his autopsy result, cause of death result. They brought it in the court to attach it to the case of Mazin Nandekano. This man, Hope Uzodinma, confessed, I'm going to look for that video, and said that that man death was as a result of a politically motivated killing. That the death of this man was politically motivated. That was what the governor of Imo State said on video. The governor said it. It was Hope Uzodinma that invited this man to Imo State. He invited Imo State. And after the visit, he was going back to the airport. You can imagine a man that came to visit the governor. After visiting the governor, he was going back to the airport to catch his flight to Abuja. And he was ambushed. And in this video, he is warning Major General Ali Munguno, the NSA of late Muhammad Buhari. That was the person that took his life. But today they are accusing somebody else for the death of this man. They are accusing somebody else. Hear him. Just listen to him, what he has to say.
I want to say what I have been saying over time. Mr. President, remove, arrest, prosecute Major General Ali Munguno, your national security advisor. He is corrupt, he is clueless, he don't have the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians at heart. And that Munguno is a hypocrite. If he is the NSC, and he thinks he have available power within him, let him arrest me. He is corrupt, he's a thief, he's a problem to the security of this country. If people are afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm only afraid of God. Because Munguno is only busy stealing the monies meant to protect us. That is it. And the better for you, Mr. President, remove Major General Munguno. Is the most useless NSA ever produced in the history of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
It was after he made this very accusation against the NSA of Buhari that he was invited to Imo State by Hope Uzodinma, and that was where they took his life. They used Hope Uzodinma to set him up. After visiting Hope Uzodinma, he was going back to the airport, and they took his life. And after that, Hope Uzodinma came and made a broadcast that the death of this man was politically motivated. And that was when Hope Uzodinma and what is it called? Rocha Sokrocha were fighting for Imo State. That is where when they were battling for Imo State. That was when this thing happened. But today, you can imagine. You can imagine. They brought this man case in the court. And they're attaching it that it was during IPOB. And eventually, this man lost his life. It was that they were supposed to have a sit at home on Monday. But this man was assassinated on Sunday. If he was assassinated on Monday, they would have said it is sit at home because that Monday was supposed to be a sit at home. That Monday was supposed to be a sit at home. It was supposed to be a sit at home. The sit at home have already been announced by Mazen Nandekano. But they took his life on Sunday. On Sunday, that was the day he was died. So if it were to be on Monday, they would have, there's no way, they would say it is IPOB. But eventually, Chukwu Okekabiama exposed them and they took the life of this man on Sunday. Then on Monday was our sit at home. And luckily, Chukwu Okekabiama also forced Hope Uzodinma to come and speak and said it is politically motivated attack. But today, look at how they are dragging it. All in the name of trying to convict Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. What a shame. What a shame of a country. What a shame of a country. Now you see why Biafrans do not want to be part of anything called Nigeria. This is one of the grievances why we don't want to be part of a country that does not have the rule of law, that lies in everything, at every instance, they lie. Lie is the order of the day. They lie in everything they do. They can never tell the truth. They can never tell the truth. It is propaganda, propaganda, and propaganda. Lies and lies upon lie. Every day, every minute, every second. And how long do you think you can be living in lie? How long do you think you can continue to live a lie? We don't want to continue to be part of this lie. We don't want to be part of God. We don't want to be part of this lie anymore. We have been there long enough. And it is time for us to get out of it. Because we are not same people. We are not part of these people. We are not part of them. We are not part of them. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu warned us. But people don't listen. I wish that everybody listened. I wish that people listened. If our people had listened, what is happening today will not happen. If our people have listened, the loss of life we have today in Biafra land will not happen. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was warning people and telling people to rise up, had a meeting with World Igbo Congress and told the World Igbo Congress to do the due diligence, rise up, raise funds, and secure your land, that the Fulanis are coming. He didn't only tell the World Igbo Congress, he was telling everybody, prepare. They are coming. They are coming. And nobody took him serious. Instead of taking him serious, people take him for a joke. They were fighting. Even the people that are coming to court today to stand with him, so many of them were fighting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Many people that are coming to court today to say they want to join Mazen, they were among those that fought him. They were among those that fought him. They were among those that fought him. They fought him, they made sure that things did not go the way it is planned. But I bet you, the more they try to do that, the more Mazen Nnamdi Kanu continue to make the difference. All those you see today pretending to be there for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, all those you see today pretending, most of them were part of those who fought against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. After taking note of brief narration by Barrister Aloy Ejimako in court, the case was adjourned to next week, Wednesday, 21st, and Thursday, 22nd. The court have ended, and the case have been adjourned to 21st and 22nd of May, 2025. So, 21st and 22nd, the case have been adjourned. Aloy Ejimako made some narration and gave some instances. And as we speak, the case has ended. And the court is over until 21st and 22nd. We are still going to be back here again on 21st. We're going to be here on 22nd and continue to bring you update. It does not matter what they do, no matter how they try. They cannot break Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The only thing we have to do today is that every one of us should stand strong. Continue to pray for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for strength, for wisdom, for knowledge, for understanding. But while you are praying, don't cry for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, cry for yourself. Remember, that war that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu warned us about, it is still coming. It is still coming. I want you to listen to this. Listen to this.
Of the Most High. And this morning, he gave me a message for Ndi Igbo. Ndi Igbo, Okolia, Bo, Okolia Ndi, Okolia Igbo, Okolia Bo, that is their name. ndị gboo o wesịzie unu na agha na-abịa o nwere onye nwe ife igwefe agha anụnwa na agha na-abịa ọkwa ka unu mala mmalụ wee jikere na agha anụnwa na-abịa o nwere mmadụ mmụọ enwere ike iwefe so biko ụmụnne m jikere kwado ka nke mee 1966 libido ndị mmadụ jere libido n'ụlọ biko onye nụkwa nyanụ onye chọrọ ịnụ yanụ na onye chọọ ya wele emebe o nwere ndị na-asị na nna anyị ala anakwa m anyị ala ọkwa ozi ka na-eje nna nna anyị ba etu ndụ kabada ụmụ ozi ọ si ụzie ndị Naijiria as a whole Nigerians mara amala na gọọmenti nọ na ọchịchị tata enwezi direction amazi ebe a na-eme
ozuola ka nke a bụrụ ihe mmụta dịrị unu.
You have heard it. It is a message when we are talking about war coming. Some of you don't take it serious because it has not happened to you. It has not happened in your village. You don't understand. When we tell you the Fulani Janjaweed are taking over, you don't understand it. You think it's a joke. The taking over of our land has started. Some of you are not paying attention. They are changing the narrative. They are changing their culture, changing our religion, taking our land and selling over. In case you don't know, it has just started. And I want you to watch this. What is happening in Imo State, sponsored by Hope Uzodinma.
Hope Uzodinma don't break another record for we Imo State. This one at the international flight will come from Samu Bakwe International Cargo Airport. And the first beneficiaries for this international flight, na Imo Muslims where they go pilgrimage for their Hajj. All of them being happy, they talk. See as all of them just they happy, they talk. As Hope Uzodinma don't do them well. And to witness this, he invites Vice President Kashim Shettima, the Sultan of Sokoto, and other top government officials. Take listen for waiting Vice President Shettima talks.
To play by the rules and regulations of the Saudi authorities. Becoming an architect of modern Imo and by extension, modern Southeast. The President is mightily proud of him for his devotion to the Nigerian nation, for his sacrifice for the unity and progress of his.
You saw that. Those are Muslims in Imo State, and they claim to be Igbos. Sponsored by Hope Uzodinma for pilgrimage. Hope Uzodinma. And you saw the leader of the Boko Haram there, Shettima, the vice president, congratulating Hope Uzodinma, speaking with them and encouraging them. You don't know. This is not whom we are. Everybody knows whom we are. The Biafrans, our religion is Christianity, Jewish, or traditional religion. That is who we are. Any other foreign religion is not for us. We are known as Christians, traditional religion, and Jewish religion. That is what we know. That is our character. That is our life. That is our life. These three, that if you go to Biafra land today, I can bet you that 80% or 85% of people there are Christians. Very few people there are either Jewish or traditional religion. Even some people that you see that we tell you they are traditional religion, they are still Christians. Or they were Christians before. Either they were Christian and they now decide to go back to their tradition and do the traditional religion, or they join the Jewish. That is what we see. But this foreign religion that is coming is not part of us. Some of us have forgotten whom we are. We have forgotten whom we are. And before I round up this program, I am going to play a video from Mazen Nandekan. With this video, we are going to close the program and come back tomorrow to continue the analysis. The case of Mazen Nandekan have ended, adjourned to 21st and 22nd. Have that at the back of your mind. The cross-examination will still continue, and we're going to hear them what they have to say. Let's hear Mazen Nandekan, what they say here.
E-Y-O-N. It's called Sam Bat Yon. It's called the Sambaton River. I give Elohim praise. Sambaton River. Go and, as I'm reading it, I want you to be reading it, please. Sambation River. So you'll be shocked. I told you everything I tell you is gospel from heaven. I don't add anything of mine. As I'm giving the message from heaven, I give it to you. 3 people make up the Biafran people. The whole of Biafra. Forget all these other names. The whole of Biafra. The Igbo people. The house of God. And his nephews. Ephraim and Manasseh. Are you listening to me? There are the ancient Ndibo, the ancient people who were there. The first wave of migrants came from Egypt. The second wave came from Samaria. 3 people. One came from Egypt, Sudan, Niger, Yoruba land into Igbo land. First wave, the house of God. The house of Ephraim and Manasseh came through Egypt, came through Djibouti, went through the upper lands of Ethiopia, came into the Afar region of Ethiopia, proceeded through the Central African Republic we know today, into Cameroons, and into Biafra land. The third and the final wave that came. 3 people make up the land of Biafra. 3. And when I say that Biafrans are Israelites or Hebrew, not all of it. I've told you this before, so there'll be no confusion. I want you to go and type in Sambation. Some spell it Sambation. S for sugar, A for apple, M for mother, B for Bravo, A for apple, T for tango, I for India, O for Oscar, and N for November. You can find it, Sambation. I read it. Oh dear me. In the earliest literature, where do I begin? What is Sambation? It is the mythical river. It is the mythical river. Oh God in heaven. A river of stone. A river of stone that took Jews to every part of the world. There was a man that wrote many centuries ago. Many centuries ago. Unbelievable. This is shocking. Shocking. I'm telling you. The river Sambation flowed beyond the rivers of Abyssinia. Remember when I told you about the Afar region and I told you about Biafra, Biafra and Biafra. This man is saying that the exact place that we located on the map as to have Biafra in it during the migration was where this very river was located. And these are Jewish scholars of note. Josephus, Pliny the Elder. These people we are writing in the ancient days. In ancient days. Even an Arabian writer, but his name is Abraham Abulafia. And this same river was mentioned in 2 Kings as well in the Bible. The river that flowed beyond the rivers of Abyssinia. And where is Abyssinia? Is Ethiopia. If you go beyond Ethiopia, it becomes the kingdom of Biafra. It's here. I didn't write it. Everything we tell you is gospel. Everything we tell you is gospel. Absolute gospel. Some people don't understand. They don't reason very well. But here we reason. Go and research it. Sambation. It's an assignment. Go and read it. Then you will understand the miracle that Elohim is doing in our lives. You must understand it. They say you have no history. I don't know that the British discovered something they never wanted anybody to see. They said, your name is now Nigeria. it means gloomy, it means dark, it means evil. Oh dear me. They said that the most credible account is that given by a Jewish writer and traveler. The most credible. His name is Eldad the Danite, you know, the tribe of Dan. In his letter to the Jews in Spain in the year 883 AD, he said, "Who are we?" And the children of light. The children of light. There's something I want to play for you. There is something that I wish to play for you that the whole world may understand it. To know who we are. To know why we are agitating for Biafra. To tell the so-called misguided, foolish elders that cannot see, that are not learned, to let them understand why we do what we do. They know nothing. That is why we are the way we are. They know nothing. I want to show you something.
There's a possibility.
Listen.
The international community can be brought to bear. The UN.
Listen.
Declaration of Human Rights. All the way through. This is a very...
No. It has gone. It has... Oh my goodness. It has gone. I will try to play it from here. Try to play it from
TV. I want to amplify that we believe that there's a possibility that the international community can be brought to bear. The UN.
Listen.
The Declaration of Human Rights, all the way through. This is a very, very serious matter. There's something that I didn't mention, and I hesitate.
A white man. A white man.
I'm not Nigerian, although I think Dr. Lloyd has bestowed upon me the honorary title of Nigeria man. And we had a conversation. It wasn't heated, but he acted like he was going to revoke my Nigeria man credentials.
Listen.
Causing my 13-year-old son, who was in the car with me, to be very distraught. He said, "Dad, you have to stay a Nigeria man." But talking about children, when I was a little boy, when I was 7 years old, growing up in the middle of nowhere, Florida, in a swamp, closest town was 30 miles away. The first thing that happened in the world that brought to bear to me that maybe things weren't always right, maybe things weren't always good, wasn't the Vietnam War.
Vietnam War?
I was in the South. It was correct and just, and we were the warriors. It was the Biafra War.
Biafra. Listen.
I remember very distinctly thinking, this just isn't right. This isn't right.
The British.
This is a
you hear it now.
It is a great nation.
It's a great nation. Biafra.
Country. And then later when I learned, something most people don't know, that there is a plausible argument that democracy began in Igbo land.
Igbo land, a white man. Democracy, the world knows today, started in Igbo land. The whole world over. A white man, an American doing his research. I don't know who has this clip, and I want to post it on my page. Democracy started where in Igbo land? Now, do you see the reason why I tell you that we are the oldest people on this earth? And if you don't have the grace of God, you cannot write. You cannot read and write. A white man doing research in America. This is why CNN will not carry our news. If you're wondering why BBC won't carry it, this is it. Because the white man understands what Biafra means. Blacks in Africa don't know. They don't know the purpose of God in their lives. They have no idea. You see, the Yoruba see Biafra as something there to be fought. Let's fight it. They are fighting Biafra out of ignorance. This man did his research and said what our ancestors were able to do 5,000 years ago. Now, today, we cannot do it. The first written constitution in the whole world. The first organized government in the world. There are two people that God controlled from heaven. The Israelites and those that he sent to Biafra land. Only two. The Israelites revolted and said, give us a king so we can be like other nations. And Chukwu Kabiyama gave them Saul. Do you know the funniest thing? The Igbo race never asked for a king. Instead, they named their children Chibu Ezra, God is king. That is why if you come out in Biafra land in those days, I say Igbo land as an example because they're the ones maintaining it, and you say to somebody you're a king, they'll tell you to go and be a king to your wife and your children. Now you understand how special we are. Now you understand why I fight for Biafra to be free. And I want my Yoruba brethren to understand, once Biafra is free, you're also very free. You'll be very rich, I assure you. Because it's a blessing from God in heaven, not man. And this is what the British never wanted you to know. They don't want you to know this, never. Because they want us to be saying it. And being a black man from Africa, if you're saying it, people won't believe you. The British saw this. That was why they said we must amalgamate them. They found Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Nnamdi Azikiwe was a willing tool of the devil. And he agreed. Mazen Bono Jike wanted him. He said no. I'll play it again so you hear how special you are. I want you to understand how special. Some of you don't know why we fight for Biafra. This is the reason why. We are the oldest of the oldest, the very ancient people. When I tell you that Igbo language is what they speak in heaven, you're doubting me. That is what they speak in heaven. The angels address God Almighty in Igbo language. This is the reason why the oldest civilization on this earth, in Igbo land, the center of the whole world. Let's listen to this man once again. I'm excited about it.
Right.
Listen.
This is a great people.
Great,
this is a great nation.
Great nation.
There was a country.
That was a country.
And then later when I learned something most people don't know.
Most people don't know this.
There is a plausible argument that democracy began in Igbo land.
Democracy.
The very first written constitution on this planet was written by the Igbo people.
The Igbo people wrote the first constitution. But Europeans don't want the world to know. Because they are wondering, if that is the case, why did God put people in Africa? That's so backwards. And I'm saying to them, God sent us to Africa to bring the light into Africa. That's our job. In our villages, in here, which means light, is in Anambra. It's everywhere you go to. Do you now see who we are? The first written constitution in CBD, the first. I want to listen to this man more, please. Let's listen to him.
The very first democracy that involves self-governance.
Self-governance.
For everybody.
Autonomous community.
Not just the Greek wealthy, but everybody was in Igbo land.
Igbo land.
And the very first democracy that permitted women leaders.
The first, anywhere when America was saying give women a vote, this is our mothers, so we are rulers. They rule the families. When women are talking in our culture, men don't come out. You don't dare come out. Can you say it? Can you hear who we are? When I hear all these fools in Abuja and in Lagos, all these riffraffs talking rubbish, I feel sorry for them. That is why we are harsh with any idiot that calls himself an elder who doesn't know history. What we are fighting for is to protect something that anybody will be envious of. This is who we are. And we started worshiping idol. Somebody will go to the farm and cut a wood. Or Pierre will say, you got an idol, rubbish. You bow down before an idol. And God took away all the blessing he gave us. Said, go and worship idol, then that's what you want. That's why we're in a mess. God gave us 700 years to come out of it. We continued in idol worship. And he sent the British. The Arabs came, he said, no, I don't want you to do it. He sent the British instead. Go and conquer them. And as you're conquering them, you're going with the Bible. The Old Testament and the New Testament. If they are smart, God said, if they are smart, They will go to Old Testament and see who they are. And that's what we did. Oh my goodness. Let's listen.
Was in Igbo land.
Igbo land.
The West, Europe, we were still in the Dark Ages.
Europe was nothing. You see all these white men building aeroplane and going to the moon, they were nothing. When Biafra land was bubbling, when the kingdom of Biafra was at its peak with God Almighty in heaven as the unveiled king, Europe was nowhere. They were in the Stone Ages. They were nothing. Oh dear me.
And yet the Igbo had figured out a way to have a just and meaningful government and a just and meaningful society and due process and fairness. And to this day, you see a great...
Listen, due process and fairness. These things are weaved into our idioms we have, our proverbs. This is a white man teaching you who you are. Fairness. Which is the foundation of our constitution. Fairness. I want the world to hear this. Biafra means fairness. You can never cheat anybody and get away with it. Never. In Biafra land. Oh God.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being with me till the end of this program. We are going to continue the program tomorrow. I appreciate everyone that have been part of this program, wherever you are. Let's continue to pray for Mazen Nandekan for strength, for revelation, for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. As for Mazen Nandekan, he has no case. He will be in court again on the 21st and the 22nd, and we will continue to analyze. Tomorrow, we will also come again and review this very case and bring more review and updates that is going to come. Thank you so much for being part of the program. I appreciate you. See you tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu. Stay blessed.
No fear for our land. We go stand together. Fight for freedom now. No surrender.
This day is more than just an opening. It is a call for peace and reconciliation. Join us at the first ever Biafra Peace Summit, where the past and present voices for Biafra independence come together. No segregation, no division, just one people with one purpose. An occasion to voice our differences, resolve them, and stand stronger as one people. May 30th is also our separate Biafra Heroes Remembrance Day, when we honor the brave souls of men and women who fought and children who fell from the genocidal war of 1967 to 1970, where over 3 million Biafrans lost their lives. The day we honor those unjustly imprisoned and killed before the war, during the war, and presently, simply for being Biafrans. We salute our past and present leaders, from the vision of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu to the resilience of Philip Effiong, the fearless dedication of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the unwavering courage of Simon Ekpa Odogu, who have carried the torch of our struggle. Their sacrifices and leadership lights our paths forward. As we all know, for far too long, we've endured suffering at the hands of our enemies and division from within. This summit is power-packed to heal those wounds, to uproot seeds of discord planted among us, and to unite Biafrans across tribes, regions, religions, and political views. Together, we are unstoppable. Be part of history. Join us on May 30th, 2025 at the United States of Biafra headquarters in Washington, D.C. A day of unity, remembrance, and renewal. Biafra rises as one strong nation, bolder together. Venue, 11726 Connecticut Avenue, Northwest Washington, D.C. Time, 3 p.m. Biafra time and 10 a.m. Washington time. 30th of May 2025, a united Biafra. Our time is now. This message is proudly sponsored by the Office of the United States of Biafra Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency Dr. Ngozi Orabweze, and the Biafra Information, Telecommunication and Postal Service. My name is Marvelous Chukwubikem Arinze.
We face many things, we no fall. Them took a Nnamdi Kanu, but we stand tall. Simon Ekpa, them catch we still they strong. We go rise higher, no place for wrong. We no go fall, we go stand. In unity, we hold the land. From night.
This is from Biafrans Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their life for us, those who died, that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no wrong with them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I touched me, oh. Remember when me tell you say I touched me, oh.
Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. Would you go like a papa nuku? Oh, them they were boniro. Me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi samiro. Me tell you what I day. Oh, me just for the rest of man, I tell you what I am. Me never give up. Me tell them
heroes, I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eyes. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, you'll never be apart. They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front. Without food, without guns. For our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now, if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart. Forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation. And the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation.
We bled in our history. That the death of our people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now? If not you, you died at Mali.
Then we are starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in our heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes of our fallen heroes.
This is for my fallen heroes. Keep them on the patient people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for the freedom of my body.
march on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is. We must revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.